Welcome back, dear children. In this session, we are going to begin with a new chapter, Chapter 10, Mensuration. When we talk about mensuration, you must be thinking about the 2D plane figures. You must be thinking about area and perimeter. Yes. In chapter mensuration, we learn to calculate area and perimeter of different figures. Closed figures, we are talking about 2D plane figures. Now, what are we going to learn in this chapter first? Today, in this session, we will understand what do we mean by perimeter, what is perimeter and how it is calculated. First thing is, what is a perimeter? Perimeter is the sum of all the sides of a given plane closed figure. Take for example, suppose there is a farmer. He has a field and he wants to put a barbed wire along his field, okay? All over the field, he wants to place or put a barbed wire so that the cattle or any other animal do not get into the field and graze or eat the plants or whatever he is growing in the field. So now the question arises that how much barbed wire should the farmer buy and put it across the field? What is this? This calculation of barbed wire. What we will do is the perimeter of the field. That means if the farmer has to buy the barbed wire, what he has to do? He has to take the total distance along the boundary, which will form a closed figure. And this total distance along the boundary is called as perimeter. So, one example you understood is example of a farmer where he wants to place a barbed wire. So, what are we doing? We will calculate the total length of the field. You will add the total side of this field. So, what you will know? You will come to know from the total length that what should be the total length of the barbed wire which the farmer should buy. One example. Take one more example. Suppose you are making a tablecloth. You have painted here. Okay, you have made some beautiful designs by embroidery or painting. Now to make this tablecloth look more beautiful, you have decided to put a lace across the tablecloth. So what will you do? You will go to the market and you will see different types of laces. Beautiful laces you will see. And you will select one of them. After selecting the lace which you want to put on your tablecloth, what will you do? You will tell the shopkeeper. You need to tell because that will be a lace. You will see it has, it's a very long lace. It will be called. You want some part of that lace from the entire, that bundle of lace. Definitely, in this case also, you should be able to tell the shopkeeper that how much lace you want. What should be the length of that lace which he will cut and give it to you. So what will you do? Or usually what you do? You measure the length of the tablecloth. Yes or no? Suppose you want to place a ribbon on your project also. Then also what you do? You add all the sides. And then you understand how much you get, the total distance, the total length of any plane figure. What you add will be that length what you have to buy from the market. So in this case also, suppose here this is 10 meters, this is is 5 meters, this is 10 centimeters, and this is 5 centimeters. So when you go to the market, what will you do? You will add the sides of this figure. 10 plus 5 15 plus 10 25 plus 5 30. So you will tell the shopkeeper that please give me 30 centimeter length of ribbon or lace. Is it clear? So what are all these examples? All these examples are based on calculation of perimeter. So we understood that whenever you want to measure the total distance across the boundary, that means we are talking about perimeter, and we understood some cases where we need. One more thing, in these examples what I gave you, you saw only 4 sides. So you must be thinking that perimeter is only for a figure where you have 4 sides. No, we said perimeter is the total distance along the boundary forming a closed figure. So it can be many sides. Take for example, 1, 2, suppose the farmer's field is in this shape. So check number of sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the total distance across this boundary is 7 sides. So you have to add the total side, all the 4 sides you measure. And when you see, when you move across this boundary, what do you get? You form a closed figure. So this is also your perimeter. Is it clear? So perimeter means sum of all the sides. Now here we have taken few examples. Now let us find out the perimeter for a rectangle and for a square. So the formula for perimeter of a rectangle, we will derive it. This is a rectangle. So you have, see, the opposite lengths are same here, and these two opposite sides are same. So this is L, this is L, this is L, this is L. What did I tell you? We have understood that perimeter means sum of all the sides. So sum of all the sides, let us start. This is my first side L, then the second side B, third side L, fourth side B. Let me arrange it in like terms. This means wherever I have these two variables L, I will bring it together, plus wherever I have B's, I will place it together. Now what does this becomes? L plus L. No number, make it as 1. Take 1 as coefficient. So 1L plus 1L. This will become 2L. Same way B plus B. How many B's you have? You have 2B. You see 2 is common. Take this 2 common. I place it here. What you have here? You have 2 length plus 2b. So see, this 2 is common. Yeah, 2 is common. Let's take 2 because in both the variables you see to place 2 outside. So 1 2 is here and 1 2 is there. So when you take it as common, that means now you will not write down that 2. Only write down what is left. So when you take 2 common, what are you left with? You are left with L. Same way here. 2 is common, so forget it. What are you left with? You are left with plus B. So what do you get? When you take 2 as common, I write down here again. When 2 you take common, it is twice of length plus breadth. And what is this? This is the formula for perimeter of a rectangle. Understood? Remember, the perimeter of a rectangle is twice of sum of length and breadth. Let us learn how to apply the formula. Take for example, you are given that the length of the rectangle is 3 centimeters and the breadth of the rectangle is 2 centimeters. And you are asked to find out the perimeter of a rectangle. So the first thing is write down the formula. Below this you will write down the perimeter of a rectangle is equals to twice of length plus breadth. This much you have to do. This will give you, formula will give you 1 mark. Whenever you have questions based on formula, learn to write the formula. Now, what is the value? See here it is 2, write down 2. What is the value of L? Check. L is 3. Replace L with this number. See, L is 3. Then what do you have? A plus sign. Add that plus sign. Write down as it is. What is here after plus? B. Instead of B, what can you write? You can write down the value of B, that is 2. Now, solve the bracket first. 3 plus 2 is 5. What do you mean by bracket? Bracket means nothing but multiplication. So 2 into 5, it is 10. And the unit is also same. One more thing children. Here, let me first finish. So what is the perimeter of the given rectangle? It is 10 centimeters. Now, here you have to understand two things. That whenever the perimeter of any figure is asked, you add the total side. Okay, some formula is simply sum of all sides. But from this formula, we came to know that for rectangle, we can revise and write down as twice of length plus breadth. But also remember to mention the unit. What will be the unit? Unit will be same what is given. That is, if the length was in centimeters, value of breadth is in centimeters. So the perimeter's value, whatever value you write down, 10, 15, whatever, plus the unit, same unit. If here it is centimeters, so here also with the value you will write down centimeters. And these units are also important. If you forget to write down the units, your marks will be cut. Remember, units are equally important as your formula and the way you solve and get the answer. So I hope you have now understood the meaning of perimeter. Now from exercise 10.1, there are, see exercise chapter 10 exercise 10.1. There are few figures which are given. We will discuss about those also in the next session, but please I request you to try some questions on your own where the figures are given, the length of the sides are given. You have to find out the perimeter. Try few of the questions. In the next session, we are going to discuss and understand exercise 10.1. God bless you.